Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about augmented sixth chords, and I have prepared some really low-tech slides to share with you to introduce the topic. So, augmented sixth chords, otherwise known as with this symbol +6. In order to introduce this to you, I want to show you two different chords. We're going to start with the mystery novel approach. Chord A and chord B. Check it out. Chord A sounds like this. Chord B sounds like this. Whoa. They sound the same, but they look different, right? What do we call that? They're enharmonically equivalent, meaning they sound the same, but function differently, and they're spelled differently. Going back to these two chords, can you tell me what the interval is between the lowest note and the highest note in chord A? And then what is the interval between the lowest note here and the highest note here in chord B? What you should be identifying is a minor seventh in chord A versus an augmented sixth in chord B. Yet they sound the same. What I want to do is show you first how chord A would function knowing what we know. So what does it sound like to you? Does it sound at all like an incomplete dominant seventh? That's how I hear it. If we wanted to think of it in this way, we would think of that chord A flat, C, and G flat, and the key of D flat major, right? Because A flat would be scale degree 5 in that key. And we might imagine a resolution that sounds like this, as shown here, where the chord in question functions dominantly. Now, if we go back to the respelling of this chord, chord B, with the augmented sixth, we're going to see that it functions completely differently than the one that is spelled like this. And this is our new friend, the augmented sixth chord. We're now thinking not in D flat major, but in the friendly key of C. In this case, we're going to assume that that A flat takes on the role of lay, and the F sharp takes on the role of Fi. Fi being the tendency tone wanting to go to sol, and lay being the tendency tone that wants to go to sol, and they meet at the octave. And it sounds like this. So what we have then is a predominantly functioning chord that's chromatic. Predominant, dominant, to tonic. Dominant sevenths and augmented sixth chords are like homophones. That means they're spelled differently and they have different meanings, but they sound the same out of context. Consider the words sail and sail, S-A-I-L and S-A-L-E. They both sound the same out of context, but when you hear them in a sentence, you get an idea of the different meanings. And the 5-7 and augmented sixth chords are just like that. In sum, here are the takeaways, the things I want you to know about the augmented sixth chords. They function predominantly. At minimum, they always have lay, do, and fi in them. And you'll watch another video in a few minutes that shows you we have 3 varieties of these augmented sixth chords. The third point is that when we're in a minor key, scale degree 6 is already lowered, so you don't need to lower it again. And finally, these chords, since they are predominant, usually precede either 5 or the cadential 6/4. So that's it in a nutshell. Your introduction to augmented sixth chords. More material is to come. Enjoy this chromaticism.